You are listening to Your League Tennis Podcast with your host, Anthony Radonia. Anthony's an avid weekend warrior tennis player, just like you. Every week, he'll be interviewing new and exciting guests that will not only differ in experience and skill level, but also in age and physical ability. Your League Tennis Podcast is about making you a better tennis player. Whether you're a beginner or have been playing for years, in your 20s or in your 60s. Now, here is your host, Anthony Radonia.
All right. So it's working good?
It's good,
hear it?
yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I have Amanda here.
Hello.
Amanda Will. Cool.
That's right.
And I'm so thankful you came. I know we've known each other for a few years, and obviously we don't talk that much,
Right.
But we've known each other for years. I see you around the club. You obviously love tennis. I love tennis. So what is it? Maybe 2 or 3 years? Probably known each other?
Yeah, probably.
And you've been working at the club since
For
you said
5 years.
For 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years this year.
Yeah, okay. So let's start out with this a little. So tell me a little about your tennis background, or maybe your rating first. I know you're a 3.5.
I'm a 3.5.
Okay.
I've been a 3.5 for a year. And then because I was a 4.0 for a year, and then I got bumped down. And
did you start out as a 4.0? Like when you first
I was
rated?
a 3.0.
You were a 3.0.
So I've been playing for 12 years. I started in Nate's Thursday beginning group.
Okay.
And then I probably played league for 10, and here and in San Diego. And I was a 3.0, and then we all got bumped up because we won sectionals. And then I was 3.5 for a very long time.
You won sectionals as a 3.0?
As a 3.0.
Oh, cool.
Not nationals, sectionals, like the one in the fall.
Yeah.
And then my entire team got bumped up, except for Jeannie. Jeannie got double bumped. She went from a 3.0 to a 4.0.
To a 4.0,
It was like the only two in California or something that happened to.
Yeah, I never knew that was possible.
Yeah. So.
And then, you didn't play college, or you did? You didn't do any?
I didn't play any sport.
When did, you didn't have to tell me that part. So when did you start picking up a racket and trying tennis?
I don't know. I was at the gym and I hated being inside. And I just was like, you know what? I know there's a tennis club across the street from my house. I love tennis, watching it. Like my dad would watch Wimbledon and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
And Pete Sampras was he was cute when I was a kid.
Was he cute?
Really? Yeah. No, not so much.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe he was tall. That was probably it.
Okay.
And then I just called the club. They gave me Nate's phone number, and he was like, come to Thursday. And I was addicted from the day one.
So that was the first time you even
picked up a racket.
Picked up a racket.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they'll tell you a story if you ask that I used to whiff the ball.
But
because
that never
I
happened.
I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, so then it was just every Thursday, and it was so addicting.
It was a group or lesson?
It was
just
a group.
Private lessons.
It was a group.
Okay. Oh, it was
and then I met all these ladies, and then we all became friends.
Yeah.
And so it was, it was a life changing for me.
Yeah.
Because it was something that I began to get good at. And I was never a competitive person, and it brought out a whole different side of me. And it was kind of I was a stay-at-home mom, so it was kind of something for me. And it was something for me. And then it just became life.
What year was this? Or roundabout?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
But you said about 10 years ago, or did I?
10 years ago.
About
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Wow, that's so cool.
12 years ago we started, and then I didn't really start league for 10 years probably ago.
Oh, okay. Oh, I get you.
Because I was scared.
That's so funny you say that, because that's what my wife says. She's like, I have league in 4 days. I'm like, why are you hyperventilating right now in the corner while we're just watching TV? I have league on Saturday. I'm like, that's 4 days away.
It's funny, my Facebook memories today, it was a picture I took and my eyes are crossed, and I was like, this is how I feel every time I'm going to play a league match.
Wow.
It was brutal. But it was fun because it was like, I was doing something I love, but like losing, I mean, I lost for 3 seasons, and then, it was just, but it was, like I said, it was totally life-changing.
Yeah.
And great.
And the friends, me and Scott talked about that too in our first podcast. Like for me, I have some really good friends I've known since like 3rd grade, some in high school, and we all actually have like a text thread where we all still talk. We're best friends, like brothers kind of thing. And for me, I just thought those are your friends. Like you're not going to really gain real friends when you're old.
Right.
Because, you're married, you have kids, you say hi and buddies or something. But like the club guys I really feel like are my really good friends now especially after league.
Right.
Like how often we got to know each other's families and like just spend quality time together. And now we're all like texting each other all the time. And it's just the best.
It's I mean, you learn, my 3-0 team, we were like besties. We like we hung out on the weekends. We had barbecues with our families and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I always loved that team because that was such, like, we had so much heart and like so much, I don't know, like love for each other that it just made like playing and like we dominated,
Really?
we were, so on top of that, it was great. So.
Were you guys like so competitive that you were like rude to the other team? Was it like that at all? Or were you guys everyone nice to each other?
No, I was probably more like rude to other women. Like it's funny. Start working at the club has like given me a whole new perspective on competitive tennis. Like, like there's like I feel like as 3-0s, there's always a group of women that come in and they play and they start to play and they have that eagerness and like that, they want to play all the time. And I remember that feeling, and then I can see also like a little bit of like, if you've never been competitive before, it brings out, a little bit of sassiness, we would say. And I was like, oh, I used to be one of those girls, and so like ever since then, like, I feel like now I'm more like, I want to be the nice person on the court. I know that's terrible because like, that's not competitive at all. But like, for me, it's like, I don't want to play with tension. Yeah. Like if there's tension on the court, like it's going to get to my head. I'm going to get tight or whatever. So I'd just rather be nice to you. And, my rule is like, if I'm nice to you, guaranteed you're going to be nice back to me.
Yeah.
Like line calls. I always think if I'm generous, like kind of right off the bat with some line calls that are close that I probably could have called out, hopefully you're going to be just as generous, you know, or you're not going to be like, are you sure?
Yeah.
When a ball's like 4 feet out, are you sure?
Yeah.
So I don't know. So I think I saw like, I had one side of tennis where it was like, I was like, so we got to win and all this stuff. And then working at the club just totally like changed my perspective on it. So I don't know why, but it just did.
Yeah.
So, and getting injured too also kind of changes it because you're like, okay, I can't play that hard anymore. And so it kind of changes the way you look at it as well. So I would say now I'm like not as competitive as I used to be. I mean, it's always nice to win.
Yeah.
But if I'm out there and I'm losing or if I have lost, it's, I don't go home and literally think about it for 48 hours like I used to.
You used to do
and
that.
like be like, why didn't I do this? And why did I do that?
Wow.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure Denise does the same, right?
She does.
So.
No, but you're right. Because, see, me, like when you see me, I'm competitive out there, but I do try to make sure it's friendly.
Right.
And I enjoy like talking to the other person after, like whether I win or lose.
Right.
Hopefully I get their phone number and we stay in touch or something kind of thing. Even in league, like we do that. But it is funny, like when I go play the opens or something, because I'm still trying to play the younger generation to see how hard they hit, it's a little different.
Well, yeah.
And I don't want to say they're cheaters because that's wrong to say it that way. But I think, they're in a different spot in life where they're trying to achieve stuff,
right.
and so
on. And they're young and they're
but
stupid.
It's
I don't know. Like, this was my last season. I was the JV coach for Vista.
I didn't know that.
For 5 seasons. This was my last season. And so
for tennis, obviously.
for tennis, yes.
Okay.
So I did boys and girls. So the difference, you see, like you said, high school tennis is a whole other ball game.
Yeah.
It's a whole other thing. So, and it's because they're young, and, but I could see that when they're young and they're very competitive.
Yeah, very competitive. And like
this
I said,
is JV tennis.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, I mean, they're a different spot in life. They're still trying to achieve stuff in tennis, and they want to go to college and win, and and I'm out there playing for fun.
Right.
So it is. It's totally different.
Right. But I'm sure you feel great when you beat them.
I've only experienced that like once. Like my personality. Like I try to be nice and stuff, but like only actually once I can think of when I'm like, I'm just going to be a jerk because this guy's a big time jerk.
Right.
And it was sort of funny. Like I wasn't mad because, I didn't want to be like angry with this like kid. Right. It was, I don't even know. It was probably like 18, 19 or something. But it was just one of those things where like, I'm just going to be a jerk. Like he's being a jerk to me.
Right.
Like, and I just needed to do that to like eventually. And I actually won. And I thought, is this guy going to yell at me? Whatever, we shook hands. It was whatever. And he probably just forgot about me.
And he's probably like a nice guy off the court.
Totally.
So.
No, but that's true too. You're right. I mean, when you're playing sports, you're competitive, you can't really blame someone.
Especially if you're like losing, you can,
Yeah.
I just try to like, you have to remember you're out there for fun. You're not winning any money. Totally. You're literally just out there for fun.
Yeah.
And I always compare it to like my kids playing soccer. It's like rec soccer. It's rec tennis,
Yeah.
You're not getting anything.
Yeah. And we all know the crazy parents that watch the kids.
Oh, yeah.
And go nuts.
They go nuts. You know what, though? I loved parents coming and watching. Most of the time, they're great. Unless you get like a softball parent that's so used to like screaming. And then you're like, you can't do that. But I don't think I ever had bad parents that came and were like, it was more just like, you can't coach while you're standing at the fence, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
you just finished JV?
Yeah.
So you're not doing it anymore?
No. I'm retired.
Okay.
As I like to say.
Yeah.
My daughter's going to be a senior and she's probably going to be on varsity, and I would have never got to see her play. And to be honest, I'm 47 years old, and to be out in the heat from August to the end of October is torture. And it's just mostly like I wanted to watch her play. And, it was honestly the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life. And I was like PTA vice president and like did all that kind of stuff. And that was always great. But this was just like awesome. It was so great to see a kid that would come in and never hit a ball.
Yeah.
And I always would say to them, by the end of this season, you're going to be a tennis player. Like, trust me. And by the end of the season, they're like loving it. And they come back every season, and that's my goal as JV coach, was to make you come back to the program and, so you like it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What's funny is, and my daughter tried out 1 year when she was going to TV. She didn't really like it, but I was surprised how many kids still come out. For some reason, my brain was like, there's going to be like no one on the team when she was asking me about it. I'm like, there's 6
TV
girls.
has a huge team too, because they don't cut. So they'll have like 60 girls out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't do it with 8 courts. No way. I had 21 season. That like broke me.
Yeah.
Like, cause there's not enough courts.
Yeah.
And, somebody always ends up not playing, and stuff like that. And I always try to get everybody to play because that's the whole point,
Yeah.
So, but, TV they didn't cut.
That's why.
But that's a good, because then they continuously have people in their program. We always had a ton of girls, and like my boys season would be 9. I have 9 or 10. And then this season we had like 35 showed up, and we had to cut, and we've never had to cut boys. And we were just like, holy moly.
And so most of them have never played tennis before.
On my team, most of them have never played tennis.
So, I mean, what are you doing like on the basic level of like day one? Like, what are you talking to them about?
We're forehands and backhands.
Okay.
We're like this is how you hold the racket.
Yeah.
This is how you hit the ball. We do that a lot. I don't even teach volleys for like a very long time.
Yeah.
And then I was taught doubles like from day one. So like singles and stuff. I mean,
Yeah, that's too tough, I
Yeah.
think, when you're
Well-
starting out, maybe.
no, I mean like singles. I'm like just go out there and hit the ball, and like keep
okay.
it out of the alleys.
Oh, okay.
Like, but like doubles, I can tell them strategy and like,
Oh, okay.
what it's everything that I have been told for the last 12 years in my brain from the same two people, which are Nate and Zach. And like, I just reiterate that to them.
Yeah.
So,
Which is actually what, what's funny is my 4.5 league and then now the 5.0 league, we all have singles, but the memories I have are really doubles.
yeah.
Right? I mean, that's what I think of league. League tennis to me is doubles.
doubles.
Like it's almost weird in a way. Like the singles is just there.
Right. And I played singles. Like I had two really awesome seasons, and I was playing here and I was playing in San Diego. And San Diego has competitors league or a Leah's league. So it's like North County doubles where you play 4 lines of doubles or 6 lines of doubles. And it's not USTA rated. So it's a blast because you can go out there and you're not worried about your rating and like all that stuff. And that was so much practice for USTA.
Yeah.
So that I had like some great seasons winning because I had that outlet, that like we used to call it practice. We still wanted to win, but we called it like it was our practice.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and we called it the keychain league because you just get a keychain if you win at the end.
Oh, interesting.
So it was all about like putting it on your backpack and how many keychains you have.
How many keychains?
Yeah.
That's funny.
So like at one time, I can't hear it now. One season, I think I was on 7 teams.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
7 keychains or no?
No, like a 4-0, like 4-0 out here, 3-5 out here, 4-0 in San Diego, 3-5 in San Diego, and then like 2 competitors leagues.
Oh, wow.
So it was like constant travel every day.
That's cool.
It was great.
Well,
I
then
had so much fun. That was so much fun.
That leads me to the next question is then you're obviously independently wealthy.
Oh yeah,
millionaire.
totally. and I'm so good at tennis that I get brought to a 4-0 and then bumped down. I'm so great. So
but you're married.
yes.
Okay. And then you said you have 1 kid.
I have 2.
You have 2.
I have a 21-year-old and a 17-year-old.
Oh, 21.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's fun.
21's out of college?
Yeah, she's a cosmetologist. She just graduated and then now she has a job with another lady. Yeah, it's great. She loves it.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And then the other one's a senior at...
No, she's gonna be a senior.
Oh, gonna be a
She's
senior.
a junior at Vista, Marietta.
Okay.
Yeah.
And does your husband play tennis?
No, he was like a country club boy.
Okay.
He was like they went to a beach club. And so he played tennis at the beach club. I think he says he regrets that he didn't play in high school because he loved it so much. I don't think he was on the team. They may have played like PE or whatever, but he loved tennis growing up. So, but him and I have gone out there, but he's like from wooden racket era. He's 10 years older than me.
Okay.
So he slices everything and it really is aggravating. And I'm like, if you were to play somebody now, like they would hate you because if you're just slicing everything over the net, like hate you.
Wait, so do you play them at all? Do you guys ever play competitively?
We have, yes. I made him fall one time, so I think that was it. And then he hit me in the leg one time, and it like made me mad. And so we haven't done it since. It's just more like I think it's like I don't know. I mean, we used to do it all the time.
Yeah, but I've never seen him. He's never come to the club.
We would go like on Sunday afternoons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or like if we're on vacation, we'd play tennis.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah, see, that's fun too. Yeah, we just went, I don't know if I told you or not, but we went to Maui recently and like we just brought a racket and like we found time to hit. It was so relaxing with each other. It was fun.
We played in Kauai and I just remember being like, I'm playing tennis in Hawaii. Like, how cool is that?
I don't know. Yeah, it's so cool, huh? Is it messing up your phone?
It was just a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I would love to like do a tennis trip,
Yeah.
just go play in like different countries or whatever.
Yeah. Well, but me and Adam played last year. We went on, I think I told you, we went to Atlanta. Did I tell you that?
No.
Yeah.
Was it for a tournament?
Yeah. We
Like a huge
specifically
tournament?
it was called level 2. I don't, levels are sort of new to me.
Yeah.
But there's like level 1 through 6. We went for a level 2 national on green clay in Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
At this club that was like built in the late 1800s. Just beautiful. It was so fun. It was just me and Adam. We just went for like 3 days, 4 days, whatever it was.
That's what we need out here is like a fancy like tennis club. Because that was the best part of San Diego League is you get to go to like the fancy places. And before COVID, they would feed you.
Oh, yeah.
Like you'd get catered lunch and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you're like driving to places that you would like Fairbanks Ranch and stuff like that.
Yes.
That you would never get into unless
right.
you were playing tennis.
That's right. A lot of those private clubs.
Yeah.
Actually, even the league now, we play some nice San Diego teams. Oh, Fairbanks, like things
and
like that.
Santa Louise. Have you been to that one? Well, that's really nice.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Last time I was there, like the UCLA and Brown tennis teams, like girls, were going to play a huge tournament because I guess their pro was like the UCLA coach at one time. So they all came to play a tournament. And that was like, so they were like warming up next to us while we were playing Old Lady League. Yeah. And we were just like, they were so cute and like so great. I was like, I wish I could have played like that. But yeah.
That's funny. So you're a 3-5 now. Mm-hmm. You were a 4-0. Was it just lack of playing enough matches which made them bump you down, or were you losing at the 4-0 level?
So 2020, I played 4 matches.
Okay.
I won all my matches.
As a 4-0?
As a 3-5.
As a 3-5. Okay.
And then I think I played 2 4-0 matches and I won one with Miranda.
Okay.
And then I lost another, but it was like a okay loss, like one of those ones that was better for me than it was for them. And I woke up in the morning of like ratings and I had all these texts and it was like, you got bumped up to a 4-0. And literally I'm reading that text, it put a humongous it made me like hate tennis. Not hate it, but I was like, it put like a shadow over it for me. I don't know. I had like imposter syndrome. Like I just couldn't, I felt like I'm not a 4-0. Why did I get bumped up? And so that whole first season, I played with the same girl and she got bumped up too. We were both like, why did we get bumped up?
Yeah.
And we won our first 2 matches. And then I played, I think it was like 2 and 7.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm retiring from USTA. I'm done. And it like sucked all the mojo out of me, like everything.
So you haven't played much since then?
No. And so this is 2022, 21.
Okay.
No, this was 2022. And I was like, I'm not doing it anymore. So I should have played fall. Mm-hmm. And even if I had won probably or lost, I probably would have stayed a 4-0. But honestly, it was like such a relief. And I'm not even kidding. I get it. I get the day of ratings come out, I get bumped down and I wake up in the morning because I'm not waiting at midnight or whatever time they come out. I used to when we were 3-0s and we were seeing if we got bumped up. We literally were all on the phone with each other. And I think I cried. And so I wake up and they're like, you got bumped down. And I was like, it was like a weight had been lifted. And I'm not even joking. Like within 2 hours, I had two captains were like, you want to play on my team?
Yeah.
As a 4-0, like nobody was like.
So was it the lack of teams on 4-0 or you felt like you weren't a true 4-0? Maybe, I don't know, like the other teams didn't want you on their team because.
I just think there's a lot of, out here you literally play the same ladies.
Oh, okay.
I've played the same ladies for the last 10 years.
Okay.
And they all have their teams.
Yeah.
I can't hear. Okay. So they all have their teams. So I'm not going to go, like they're not actively looking for other ladies, you know?
I get you.
And at the club, we don't have a lot of 4-0s. We do this season, which is great. So we were always, fighting like a defaulted line, or, you know, we were
Yeah.
always like going into it as a disadvantage.
Interesting.
So,
But that's sort of what I'm dealing with at the 5-0 level, because there's a lot of 4-5s, but I can't find 5-0s.
Are you a 5-0?
Yeah. I can't
Holy
find
moly.
many 5-0s. Yeah.
so do you do like flex league?
What is that?
Like where you are a 5-0 and they find like in your area, they find all the other 5-0s and then you guys set up your own matches?
I think we can do that. I don't know. I've only done the route where me and this other guy from Canyon Lake are the captains of the 5-0 team right now.
Okay.
And we play just the San Diego teams because we couldn't find any 5-0 teams out here.
Yeah.
So we played the San Diego teams, and we sort of took guys from Canyon Lake and guys from Murrieta Tennis Club. And so that's what we're doing. I don't think that's not a flex league, is it? No. Yeah, I have no idea. But it's been tough because I can find a lot of 4-5s. And there is some 4-5s on my team.
Right.
Because I think I'm allowed to have someone lower but not higher. But yeah, you're right. It has to be 50% 5-0s or something like that.
Right.
And I think a 5-0 has to play singles technically.
And like you always have to play probably your 5-0 at your line 1.
I think so. Yeah, because it's 1 singles, 2 dubs.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I think that's how it works, like
See,
you said.
For spring for us, it's 3 doubles and 2 singles, which is ridiculous.
2 singles, it's really hard for me, which is why I end up playing singles. It's really hard for me to find guys who want to play singles.
I know.
Yeah, 45 years old, 50 years old.
Yeah.
Who's playing singles all the time.
And like, that's a lot of people to have to get together on a weekend.
Totally.
You know, and like a lot of ladies can't play on Sundays. And then we have ladies that work on Saturdays. And so Jeannie deals with a lot of like.
It's tough, the scheduling.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that is that's why in my league now, because I been talking with this lady at the USTA now that sort of helps run the leagues, and she's amazing. Her name's Randy.
Oh, I know. Okay.
You know Randy
from
too?
San Diego.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been making sure our matches are on Saturday now because a lot more family time and people going to church or whatever on Sunday.
Right.
And we're doing double headers now, which is killing us on our bodies.
Right.
But it's nice because you just have to go and get 2 matches out of the way, and then you won't play for another 3 weeks.
3 weeks
or something.
Yeah.
So it seems to be better, but then
well, for us, it's court time at the club, you know?
That's true.
Like, and there's right now she's got like 3-0, 3-5, 4-0, and then there's, I think, 2 mixed doubles going on too.
Yeah.
So it's
the mix is cool though.
Love mixed doubles.
Because that's like an 8-0 league or something, right?
We do a 7-0 and a 6-0. 7-0 mixed doubles is my absolute favorite.
Oh, that's cool.
I love the pace.
Yeah.
It's really about the pace.
Yeah.
I've never really like came across, I had a very disrespectful, crazy partner that was on our team. But I've never come across like a guy on the other side that's like terrible, you know? Everybody's always so friendly. I feel like it's more like the guys try to battle it out.
Yeah.
And us girls are at the net and we're like, we'll take it if we can.
Yeah.
You know? So
in a 7-0 mixed league, so you're both 3-5s then?
Or there can be a 4-0 and a 3-0. Yeah.
Okay.
We did have one 8-0 league, and my partner and I, do you know Shri?
I know the name.
Yeah. So him and I were mixed doubles partners for a while, and we played this girl. And I think, 8-0, she was a 4-5.
Wow.
And then I think he was a 3-0.
Okay.
And she was,
Amazing.
we just watched her hit the ball, and then it would go past us. We were like, that was great. Great shot.
Yeah.
I think we lost like 6-0, 6-0. It's like she'd serve, and I couldn't even return the serve.
Oh, my gosh.
So it was like, I just put my racket out.
Was she younger?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she was like 6 feet tall.
Because that's the crazy thing, too. Sometimes my leagues are, I don't know if they're 40 and over, but sometimes they're called 18 pluses.
Right.
Yeah, the 18-year-olds can jump in. It's usually the kids that just finished college and they want to keep playing.
Yeah.
So that's the 5-0s we have to play sometimes in singles.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Kids are amazing.
And, rule of thumb for ladies tennis, if you have 2 knee braces, an elbow brace, your hat is like huge, you're going to kick my butt. You're going to run me around the court, and you're just going to stand there and do nothing and just lob me or place the ball behind me. Like, those are the ladies you need to be scared of in ladies tennis.
The big hats, that's a part of it too.
Ladies that been playing tennis since like 1928.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are the ones that, I mean, I remember playing a match and it was like these two ladies and like you could literally like blow on them and they'd fall over.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably did 8,000 steps in that match because they just ran me.
Wow.
Ran like both of us. I mean, anywhere we weren't, that's where the ball went.
Interesting.
And it was crazy. And they kicked our butts.
Okay, I'm not trying to mess up our flow here.
Okay,
but
you're fine.
You said 1928 and it reminded me. So because each little podcast I've been trying to give people gifts.
Okay.
And I'm a card collector.
Okay.
So I've been giving everyone cards.
Okay.
So the first card, this is not related to the 1928 age, but my favorite tennis player right now is Coco.
Okay, love Coco.
So that's Miss Coco Golf.
All right.
Awesome. And then this is the card where you, when you said 1928, just reminded me. She obviously wasn't born in 1920, or maybe she was, actually. But do you know Nancy Ritchie?
No.
Okay. So this is like an autographed card of Nancy Ritchie.
Oh, wow.
So Nancy Ritchie was actually one of the lesser known people that went out with Billie Jean King to like go do those tournaments that were splitting off because they were like, we're not getting paid the same as the men.
Right.
So her, Rosie Cassels, I think is how you pronounce it, and then Nancy Ritchie. Those were the main three, but there was actually 9 women who went out and like did their thing. So I actually been collecting a lot of Billie Jean King cards lately, Nancy Ritchie and Rosie Cassels cards, and there's a lot of them out there, so it's pretty cool.
So I volunteered at Indian Wells one year, and I did credentials. So anybody who needed to come in had to get their credentials.
Okay.
And I was the youngest one of the group because it's a lot of like snowbirds that come in and volunteer, and they're all retired and stuff. And I was literally the youngest person. And so like people would come in and I'd help them and whatever. Yeah. And they'd be like, do you know who that was? And I'd be like, no. So they'd be like, it's so-and-so.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I have no idea. And so Rosie Cassels comes in.
Oh, cool.
And they were like, you have to help her. And I was like, I don't know who she is. And they were like, you have to help her because she's not very nice. And I'm like, okay. And so she just wants her stuff, you know? Yeah. So I give her the stuff or her credentials, and she picked up like Billie Jean King's credentials and a couple of the other ladies because they were having like a expedition match.
Yeah.
And so she leaves or whatever, and they were like, do you know who that was? And I'm like,
you have no idea.
Absolutely not. And so
Yeah. No. Rosie actually still makes appearances at a lot of tournaments. Even that tournament Ojai that I just went up to, I think there was like some members dinner or something like that. She was there.
She must be local then.
Yeah, maybe she's
Palm
West
Springs.
Coast. Yeah, that's true.
So, you should do that one year's go volunteer
at Indian Wells.
Yeah, so much fun.
That's so cool. You know what's so funny? I have this funny little story where me, my wife, and the little one Isla, the 8-year-old, we went out and stayed at my buddy's house, which is literally like a block from Indian Wells. So we stayed there and then went out to watch the tournament. And we were walking, and this volunteer came by with a golf cart and said, "Hey, let me drive you." I'm like, "Oh, cool. It's like, this is nice." And took us into like this special way and whatever. And then I realized as he started talking, he thought little Isla was a ball girl.
Oh,
yeah.
Was she like in a little tennis outfit?
Yeah, we totally dressed her in a nice, cute little tennis outfit with a little skirt and stuff. So, anyways, he said, "Oh, I thought at the end of the drive, he said, "Oh, I thought she was a ball girl." So he drove us into like this special way and stuff. It was so cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, but that was my one little story, like dealing with the volunteers there. And you're right. I thought like, that's cool. Even if you're just driving people around, you get to meet people, you get to be at the tournament.
Well, and I met Ron Laver. I met him because I was also, any credential that came in, we sat and we scanned your credential to come into the tournament. So it was all the famous people.
Oh,
and so here's this like little old man that comes up, and it was like, I don't know if it was a handler. I don't know what you call it, like his companion.
Okay.
It's like, do you know who this is? And I'm like, no.
No, you don't know anyone. But that's tough too, to like know people's faces all the time.
The only time was I was eating, we had to eat lunch like outside of the trailers where, so transportation was right there. So like every famous tennis player for me, like Nadal and all them, walked right past me, and that was cool, right? I'm eating lunch and I'm literally mid-bite, and this guy walks past, and I look up and it's Djokovic. And he goes, "Bon appetit." And I was like, thank you.
That's cool.
That's my one claim to fame for tennis.
What year was this?
2018.
18?
Yeah.
Oh, so cool.
So it was so much. I like, if you really love tennis and that's such an awesome, like, classy tournament.
Yeah.
Like, you should volunteer. You get grounds passes for every day. You get to park, parking pass, so you park for free and all that stuff. That was great. I took many people.
Do you know the Ojai tournament? When I said Ojai, do you have any?
No, but can't high school play? There's a high school level to it, right?
And that's what it is. And that's what I was going to tell you is when I just went, I was thinking about it. Like, I'm going to volunteer next year because there's CIF, and then there's junior, I think 14, 16s, 18s. There's college, Pac-12.
Oh, wow.
Men's Open. I played the Men's Open, Women's Open. So there's all these tournaments going on. And I want to say the tournament has been around since 18, I don't even know, 70 or something crazy like that.
Where is it? Is that at a tennis club in Ojai?
Yeah, it's at this place called Libby Park and all these different parks. And then they're all sort of close by.
Okay.
Where they're all driving distance. It's like the best. It's the best tournament.
Do you win money in opens?
Yeah. So
okay.
The guy that won the Open, who was a ex-UCLA grad, and he's now a teaching pro on YouTube and stuff like that. I watch his stuff. He's really good. I think he won $5,000 for winning Ojai. Yeah.
Did you ever play an Open at the club?
So...
did we give money away?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That one I don't know. I did play a tournament at the club.
Right.
I don't remember
we used
if
to
it
have
was
that one in the
called an
summer.
Open. Yeah.
That was and people would the ambulance would always be there because some lady was playing and passed out and stuff.
But I do play Opens a lot now.
Really?
Do you know that?
No.
Oh, yeah.
But you make...
That's why I'm always stringing rackets. You know that.
Right.
Yeah. A new racket strung every 2 days.
You need a personal one.
Oh, yeah.
How come you don't... I'm surprised you don't know how to string rackets.
So when I was young, my dad had a stringer. My brother played a lot of tennis too. So we had a stringer. I used to string all my own rackets when I was till probably, I don't even know, 17 or something. We had an old Prince stringer, I think it was called. But yeah, but now I'm too lazy.
Well, and Mitch is so good at it.
Yeah, and our stringer Mitch is awesome.
And he's a great turnaround, so.
But I do think about it now after when I get my bill at the end of the month.
Right.
I might need a stringer. I need to buy one. But they're $1,000, the ones I want. You can get a cheapie, but.
Yeah, you can go on Facebook Marketplace or something. Yeah. But I mean, I think it's I would like to learn just to do it, Well, there's another member at the club that she just learned how to do it too.
Really?
Yeah, and she likes it.
So she bought her own stringer or no? Oh, that's so cool.
So.
Yeah, I might have to do it.
Yeah.
But Mitch is going to be mad.
I know Mitch will be like, dang.
He's going to be mad at me.
You're the one who keeps us afloat.
I know. I was just telling someone the other day about that. I was making a joke.
You and Andreas.
Yeah. I was like, Mitch is going to talk at my funeral. He's the only one that's going to be crying. He must have loved Anthony. No, his main source of income died.
What's funny is when you guys come in and you're like, it was at 51 pounds and now you want it at 50. And I'm like, how can you even tell?
I don't know if we can. I just know I wasn't playing good that day.
So you're like, I'm changing it.
Cut the strings and
honestly,
string it different.
They lowered my tension and I love it. I think it's strung at 50.
What was it before?
Probably 53.
Okay.
And I love it.
You can tell.
Yeah. But I have to find arm-friendly strings. So my string is not the cool kind. It's the old lady kind.
So I've been stringing some at 45. Every now and then Mitch will string lower for me. I mean, at first it feels a little weird, but to tell you the truth, I've been liking it for my arm. My elbow, I sometimes have issues. And I don't know, I'm afraid I'm going to keep going lower and lower. And I always joke about this because this is probably a dumb story to say on camera, but when high school, we all used to pluck our eyebrows.
Okay.
And then before you know it, eventually you have no eyebrows.
Right.
Because you just keep going. You keep going. You keep going. That's why I feel with stringing.
You'd have one string.
Yeah. It's my tension's going to get down to who knows what. I keep lower and lower and lower and lower. But right now I'm at 45. Actually.
Can you even go lower than that?
There's some pros, honestly, are doing in the 30s.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. They must break strings though, pretty.
I don't know. I haven't tested it, but I know you don't have to swing as hard. Right?
Oh, really?
It's more trampoline effect. That's the point. The lower the strings, the more they give.
They give.
I guess. And there has to be a point obviously where you can't go lower, right?
Right.
So I don't know what that point is. So when you were playing more league, so you're not playing league right now, but you want to get back into it.
No, I'm playing league now.
Oh, you are?
I always get talked into it.
So what are you playing right now? A 3-5?
I play just on the 4-0 team
Oh, you play a
at
4-0 team.
MTC, and then I'm on the mixed doubles. But it's more like I'm like the if you need somebody, ask me kind of person. I don't need to like play every weekend.
Yeah.
I used to, but no, I don't need to.
Yeah. And how tough is that 4-0 league right now?
I was thinking about it today. It's funny so there's 3 clubs, and then there's like two other teams that aren't part of a club. So they have like an advantage because you don't have to pay a membership, right, to be part of the team.
Okay.
So they get like the really good ladies. So there's one team that like has a ton of ladies on it, and they're all like the great 4-0s,
wow.
like the more upper 4-0s. So, but it's like we all know we've either played each other or we played on the same team.
Yeah.
So it's tough. I mean, it's tough, I would say. Your line 1 is definitely tough.
How is it easy to see the difference between a 3-5 and a 4-0? Like, can you tell by looking at them? Like, would you be able to say that's a 4-0, that's a 3-5? Or is it not really? I
probably would think that if you're good, I'm probably going to think you're a 4-0, but you might be surprised. A lot of it takes, the USTA progression is very slow. And so, I mean, there was like one season where I played so many matches, like they were like, we can't move you up. It was like I almost had too much to go on. And I won like maybe 4-0 singles matches. Like I did a whole season where I played singles and like I didn't get bumped up. And then it was like one time I played some lady who was higher than me and we beat her, and then I get bumped up.
Yeah.
So, but I don't think I can tell the difference. We have some really, really good, I would say our 3-5s at our club they're pretty good. Like they can all play 4-0.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then we have some great 4-0 ladies. And I love our team because we're just like the scrappy team. I feel like, like we're the underdogs every time. And so it's nice. Like when we win, like we had a match on Saturday and the girls were playing and we thought they were still playing. The score was 4-1. We were like, how come you guys haven't changed your score? We're like, oh, we ended like half an hour ago. We're just playing for fun. So we were sitting there just watching
practice,
thinking that they were still playing a match. But our team won like 6-0, 6-1 or something like that. But I mean, that's how nice we are. We'll play you again for fun.
Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah, because everyone's out there just trying to get some exercise and have fun and meet people.
Right.
Do you have any injuries? Like I thought you were talking about something.
I've rolled my ankle like 47 times.
Okay.
I've actually rolled my ankle during like a social at the club. I've rolled my ankle also twice working at the club.
Oh my gosh.
I have a bad ankle, obviously.
Yeah.
Tennis elbow a little bit, but that's just because I don't follow through. And so I've been really consciously trying to do that. And I notice when I do play and I am following through, my elbow doesn't hurt.
So when you say you don't follow through, you think you're stopping your motion?
Oh,
or
yeah.
What do you mean?
You can tell, especially my backhand, because I can like kind of steer my backhand a little bit if I don't stop, like if I don't follow through. So it's like a really like hard kind of like angled.
Yeah.
My forehand, like I would say if somebody was to say like me as a tennis player, they would be like, she has a good forehand. I used to have a good forehand. I think that since just being like injured and like, you stop playing like you used to and you're more tentative and stuff like that.
Yeah. So the funny thing is about your not follow through thing, because I've been hitting with my wife a lot more, and she's trying to play more leagues, and she plays on the 3-5, 3-0. And like, it's funny to see her progression because obviously I played since I was a little kid, so maybe I thought about this stuff when I was younger.
Right.
But I sometimes see like her doing unnatural things, but it's not, when I really think about it, it's not like illogical, like what she's doing, because she's just trying to do what we're telling her to do.
Right.
And then sometimes it looks a little unnatural. And like one of those things is like the follow through, like, and how she's like doing her backswing and all these things. So everything's getting in the way because I
Right.
feel like I'm telling her so much. And then she's trying to do the 10 things I'm telling her. And
Right.
it's sort of impossible to do all of them at the same time.
And I always think like when I'm playing, like I can't think about
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
The best advice I was ever given was all you have to do is go out there and hit the ball. So like that's all I think about is just hit the ball. I might think early. Like that's early.
Yeah.
I used to be really scared at the net, and over time now it's like hit an overhead at me, let's do it. I'll just block it, whatever.
Yeah.
So when I'm volleying or whatever, I'm just like, mine is more like, you need to poach. You need to poach.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. But I always say, like, if I think, then it's going in the net or it's going out.
Yeah.
So just don't even think, just hit the ball.
Yeah.
So
And so that not follow through thing, why are you doing that then? What are you thinking about that makes you not follow through?
I'm thinking I'm more like where I want the ball to go. So I'm thinking more about that instead of like, and I was taught like the C. And so, but over
For the
time,
backswing?
time, like coaches have shortened it and shortened it and shortened it. So now it's like, I took lessons from Scott, and he would be like, pretend like you're looking at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah. With the racket like that.
Yeah. So, like that's what I try and think about is like, look at, get your racket here, get your hand out, get your, so I just try to do the follow through. Now it's just more about following through.
Yeah.
Like, and Zach always is yelling at me, accelerate. So that's when I know I'm not following through because I'm,
You're trying to like place it in a spot?
Or I'm just trying to like, I'm muscling it. I'm just using my arm.
Yeah.
I'm not using my body, my core, my like bend your knees, Amanda, So it's just like that. But I notice when I'm not following through, I will come home and my elbow will be killing me.
You're so right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And this is the crazy thing. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the era or something. But when I was younger, we didn't think about
following through.
Yeah, the mechanics.
Yeah.
Like I always was being taught with my backswing, like you said, the C.
Right.
Like that was the big focus. And now that I've played for so many years, I realized the backswing's not the focus.
Right.
Right? It's
a spin.
contact, and then it's sort of the follow through.
Right.
And it's almost like that's sort of how every sport is. Like boxers, they're not teaching you how to like do this. No, they're teaching everything in front.
Right.
Right. And everything's about what happens like sort of in front.
And then I
a
was
weird
always
way.
told too, like, you want to hit the ball really hard, but it's more effective if you have spin. If you just to roll it over the net at somebody's feet, that's going to be more effective than hitting the ball really hard at them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have to work on my top spin.
Yeah.
So
what do you think is stopping you? You're rated a 3.5, but you're playing 4.0. Like, what's stopping you from being the 4.5 or something?
Oh gosh.
Or
I'm
whatever the
old.
next.
I'm old. I don't have.
Well, how about from like a stroke perspective?
Oh,
though?
a stroke perspective.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, we can't move the same and all that stuff.
I probably am not. I'm not a very powerful hitter. I would say I'm more like. I would say my biggest strength would be like consistency. I'm not out there trying to kill every shot. Not like a huge. Like I'm not trying to make everything a winner. And I like angles a lot, but I don't know. Maybe just the desire to be a 4.5.
But you also, at the beginning of this sentence, you mentioned like how hard you hit, or you're saying how hard the other people hit. Are you saying they hit too hard?
No. I'm saying I am not a hard hitter.
Yeah.
But
okay.
there are some women that can like, that's a bullet coming at you.
Yeah.
And I struggle too with like somebody that is hitting back to me with a lot of top spin.
Okay.
Like I tend to just block it back and I'm not returning it with spin or anything like that. My favorite thing to do is to take a ball like right off the bounce. I love doing that.
Yeah.
But like I struggle definitely with top spin, and I would say the return of like heavy topspin. So somebody can see that right off the bat. You know, like, oh, I just hit her this really spinny ball and she's just like blocking it back.
Yeah.
So
What's so funny is though, that's like something Adam was saying, like he really watches the other person and their strengths and weaknesses. I don't do that at all.
I know. I don't either.
I should. You have to.
I should. And as a doubles partner, you should, because you should be like strategizing with each other. I mean, if it's blatantly obvious, you know, I'm going to turn around and be like, hit it to her backhand.
Yeah.
You know, but like somebody right off the bat's going to see, okay, I'm going to spin this as hard as I can at her, and it's going to come really high and hit like right at her feet. I'm going to have a hard time returning that.
Yeah.
So
at the 3-5 level, are you doing, like when you're serving, are you doing kick serve slices, or is it more like just get it the first one in with some pace? And
it's more like get it. And I like I try to snap the top of it.
Okay.
I used to have a really good serve, I would say, like when I was in my prime. I mean, I have an okay serve. I would say my serve, because it's always deep. It's never really short. Like it's coming at you.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm not like a placer. Like I can't be like, I'm going to place it right at the tee and like it goes to the tee. Yeah. It's more like, oh, I hit it at the tee. Look at that.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not like.
So you're not thinking about like spins or slices?
Nope. Okay. It's more like get this serve in, because I know my first serve needs to go in and my second serve is not. We always like call it your 2-5 serve. You know, like just get it in.
Yeah.
And I always know that's going to be like somebody's going to punish me for that. So I try to get my first serve in. And that's like funny in high school tennis. I'm like, if you're going to give a kid who hits the ball really hard like a little serve, I'm like, you're going to get in trouble for that. Like it's going to come right at your face or your partner's face.
Yeah.
So
do you think that's the big difference? Like once the level starts being bumped up, like is 3-5, no one's really doing those spin serves and stuff, or is it in the 4-0 league more, or no? Like, are you seeing like people with kick serves or slices?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't see a ton of that. No. Yeah. But when mixed doubles, yes, because men tend to have, I think, more of a kick serve, you know, especially tall guys.
Yeah.
So you'll see that a lot more. I think more like 3-5 level would be like placement.
Yeah.
You know, so it would be more like you should serve to the tee.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. So
I was surprised watching my wife's 3-5 league last week. The people they were playing against, this girl had a very powerful serve.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, I was trying to think like, where's that difference in level? There wasn't like much huge kicks or anything like that, but you can tell the people that knew how to play had some.
To be honest, nobody's ever taught me a kick serve or like tried. I mean, like they always tell me like my second serve, I should put some kind of spin on it.
Yeah.
But I've never been taught how to like, or do I care to like take the time and learn a kick serve? Yeah. You know, so I don't, I don't know. But there, I mean, I wouldn't say there's a huge difference between 3-5 and 4-0, but there is a big, in the 4-0, there's a huge difference between like a lower 4-0 and like a lady that should be a 4-5. You know, just the power and the instinct, like the ball instinct, you know? And I feel like if you played sports before, like I did not, I played soccer. Okay. And it was like with my friends and it didn't mean anything. And like, you know, I've played with a volleyball player. I played with a basketball player. Like they learn to track the ball and they become very good net players. And I feel like your 4-0s are like phenomenal net players. Yeah. So
have you ever played a 4-5, like in doubles, singles, or anything like that?
No.
Not even at the club for like fun, do you think?
No.
Probably not.
I've played with a 4-5.
Oh, okay.
Just for fun. Yeah. But she was awesome. And she was like, she hit like a guy, you know? So it was, I like that pace. Yeah. I mean, everybody likes that pace. Yeah. So.
See, because that's like one of the things I don't know if I'm trying to accomplish it or whatever in this podcast, but I'm trying to like figure out like what's the difference. Like you know, because if you played college, they sort of start you at this, in men's at least, they start you at this 4.5 and 5.0 level. So I didn't really go through the progression of, you know, a 3.0, a 3.5, a 4.0.
Right.
And so, like Scott was saying, you know, a lot of it's the mechanics and stuff like that. I don't know sometimes. I just feel like...
I feel like 3.0s, the pace is slower, and there's a lot of like moon balls, you know, where things are not like non-intentional lobs, you know, where like because they haven't, you know, they're when you're learning power and stuff, you know, when you don't have a lot of power, you tend to open your racket up a little bit.
Yeah.
So it'll, you know, pop up kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like as a 3.0, we are always like, I could serve and my partner could just take it, you know, like end it.
Yeah.
And as a 3.5, 4.0, no way. Like they're crafty and they're, you know, their lobs are intentional and a lot of more down the line shots and stuff like that. I always think like, it's funny when you go to sectionals and you see the different levels of ladies, because 3.0s will always come matching outfits, like ready to go. They're so excited.
Oh, cool.
3.5s will wear the same colors. 4.0s, I played a lady in jean shorts. You know, like they just show up and they're just there to kick your butt.
Yeah.
So
That's funny.
that's I always think that like.
But you know what's funny too is the pace of the ball. I've been noticing because I've been playing the younger guys in opens. Like it doesn't have to be that much harder than I'm used to, but even just that little extra. I don't even like. Do you know Swing Vision, the Swing Vision app? Like how you tape things. So I've been taping some of my matches, and I'll notice that even if they're hitting 10 miles per hour harder than me, it's screwing me up.
Really?
Yeah, because it's not a ball like I'm used to seeing. Right. So like that little extra miles per hour, which I'm just guessing, like if someone's hitting 40 miles per hour versus 50 miles per hour, it's a huge difference. Like in my preparation, I don't feel prepared. Like it just feels like that much more penetrating. Like I'm always on my back foot. So to me lately, I've been noticing the big difference is miles per hour.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it seems like all our strokes are sort of similar, like at the 4.5, 5.0 level, even college guys. Like some of them are just beautiful, right? Just different. But most of us are hitting sort of the same ball, but it's the pace.
Right.
And then I'm just outclassed, you know, when the pace
I think
goes up.
in ladies tennis, it's like you need to be really good at the net. Like net play, I mean, comes in because a lot, especially in the upper levels. Like I think that's the biggest thing is like the net play.
So you think a lot of people aren't learning volleys in like the lower divisions?
I think that like you're intimidated by the ball. Like you're afraid you're going to get hit. And it's like, it takes one time for you to get hit. And then you shouldn't be afraid of the ball anymore.
Yeah.
I think I honestly, for me, it was like more fear of the ball, like of getting hit by the ball. And then you get hit a couple times and then you learn like you get stronger at the net. Yeah. And then it just nothing scares you after that. Like
how about overheads? Did they like scare you at all?
No,
like
now I'm like, bring it to me.
Oh, okay.
Like I used to back up unless like they're 2 inches from the net or, you know, really close to the net, I'm going to back up. But if you're going to hit bring it, let's go. You know, where are you going to put it? You know, like I did one today. Jeannie hit me at an overhead and it happened to literally hit. I put my racket out, hit my racket, went over her head. So it's just, you know, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
My biggest weakness is poaching. I miss those balls, you know, like balls that go right past me, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's something that all I had to do was literally take a tiny step and put my racket out and I could have volleyed it. I think that's my biggest weakness.
How about where are you all standing at the net? Like prior to a poach, you know you're going to poach. Like, do you guys call signs at all? Like, do you tell your partner you're going to poach or no?
No, no.
I
mean, we might beforehand, especially if you know, like, okay, this person's hitting like kind of down the middle, like the hole every time. Yeah. You know? But no, we're not like discussing that beforehand. How
about where you're standing then at the net? Do you think about like in relation to like the sidelines versus the middle? Like, are you thinking about that at all?
Well, like yeah. I mean, that's kind of the first things we were taught was the movement, like the diagonal and the, they always told us the middle is the golden circle, and like that, you want to protect that the most. You want to cut off shots, you want to make them hit the harder shot. So, especially at the net, it's just more like me not reading the ball where they're going to hit it. If it's hit right at me, I'm fine, but like those balls that are just, within reach of me, I just take it, and I hesitate. So like, I don't have a problem with the movement up there where I am. It's just like taking that extra like oomph, do it.
Yeah.
So I'll be in my head, I'll be like, you're going to poach, you're going to poach, you're going to poach, you're going to poach. And then it's a ball I can't poach.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Which Adam really, the last podcast, he actually said something that was really important. He was talking about the importance of like telling your partner what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Because it made sense. Like him and me were both talking about like, if someone serves out wide or, whatever, like, or up the tee, what's that going to do to the returner's ball?
Right.
Like, because if you're serving up the tee, it's going to be very tough for them to go up the line, right?
Right.
So I don't know. I think it's something that I've been talking to like some 3-0s about lately is like, you're not using signs. I think you should. Don't feel intimidated like, oh, we're not good enough to use signs.
Right.
You need to, just because you need to know, like, I know it's then tough for the server to place it where you want them to place it, obviously. But imagine knowing that the ball's going to land there versus there.
Right.
You're going to be a different player at the net.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, I play with literally the same ladies all the time.
Yeah.
So I think that we have that, like, if they know the ball's going to the tee, that they should be moving in and trying to poach that.
Yeah.
So our coaches are always like, you guys need to use signs.
Yeah.
More like, more like you serve here or serve there,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And then they always are on our case, like, you guys should try Australian, and it's like, and every time I've tried Australian, it's been effective. It's effective.
Yeah.
It can work,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think signs are good. I think we just know each other so much.
Well, that's good too. If you don't need them.
I literally play with the same ladies, like all the time. So we're just like, I had a partner as a 3-0. We were partners for 5 years, and I play with her every Tuesday. She doesn't compete anymore, but just the sound of her shoes, like it's comforting. Like, I know where she is. Like I know if I'm not going to get it, she's going to try to get it.
Yeah.
So, I don't.
Yeah. No,
Maybe that's her sign, is her shoes. They're squeaky shoes.
But she doesn't play anymore.
She does not compete anymore. She hates it.
Oh my gosh.
But we were like awesome.
Oh, wow.
We were like pretty good as 3-0s.
Yeah. So what's the, so we'll try to wrap it up a little.
All right.
It's actually
how long?
Do you want to know?
Oh, yeah.
It's over an hour.
Really?
Yeah. See?
Wow.
That's so funny, huh? How easy that goes.
You know
by.
what? That's a test to you, though, because you're very comfortable to talk to.
Thanks.
So that's like a good thing.
Oh, appreciate it.
That's what you
Amanda.
want as a podcast host.
Yeah. Thanks, Amanda. Appreciate it. So I know we've even discussed this during the podcast, but hopefully when someone's listening, they get something out of it, at least like something to help them improve.
Right.
So maybe this question, try to focus on a shot that you're really good at, because we're not good at everything, right? We have a bunch of shots we're not good at. What's a shot you feel really comfortable at? And if I said, coach that person who's never played tennis with, like, what would you do? Like, how would you explain it?
I would say my cross court forehand.
Okay.
I can hit a really good angled cross court, and if you just keep giving it to me, I'm just going to keep hitting. Like, I can hang in the rally, right?
Yeah.
And if I was to tell somebody to do that, definitely think early. I struggled with it today. I had a class today. So it's like bend your knees, hit it early, get your top spin. You don't have to hit it super hard.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody's at the net, roll it at their feet.
No, but that right there is enough because someone's at the net, roll it at their feet. Something that we know Doug at the club.
Right.
Something that I used, and when a person came to the net, I always thought force, like I had to hit so hard or through them or kind of thing.
Right.
And Doug's been so amazing at just like, he'll put in a slice passing shot and just destroy me because it'll just drop at my feet.
Yeah.
And it's been so valuable to see him do that because like I said, I've always been thinking like, just go through the person, hit as hard as you can when they come to the net. And just that little craftiness, and maybe because we're getting old, I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, throw it at their feet. And
they've taught us that from day one, everything at their feet.
Yeah.
Volleys at their feet, overheads at their feet, like everything.
Yeah.
Because they're the hardest to return.
Yeah.
So.
Totally.
But.
Well.
Yay.
Thank you, Amanda.
That was great.
Yeah. So let me finish it up here.
I didn't bring any drama.
No. We'll do the
no
outtakes.
No drama.
The outtakes will be drama.
I'll tell you some stories. No,
yeah,
I'm just
tell
kidding.
me after. Thank you so much, Amanda.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Thank you.